Countdown.
Tahniah. Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. Sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Okey. Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh kepada semua para guru, ibu bapa dan anak-anak pelajar sekalian. Selamat datang ke Pusat Tuisyen Akademi YouTuber bersama e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. Sebelum kita mulakan kelas, marilah kita membaca ummul kitab Al-Fatihah. Untuk yang bukan Islam, bolehlah bertafakur mengikut kepercayaan masing-masing. Al-Fatihah. Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Okey, apa khabar adik-adik? Okey, Cik Ying, khabar baik, Alhamdulillah. Okey, harap semua berada dalam keadaan baik Okey, Cik Ying boleh ajak kawan-kawan lagi, mana tahu ada abang kan, boleh share untuk belajar untuk hari ini. Okey, cikgu harap semua dalam keadaan baik dan semua bersedia untuk meneruskan kelas kita pada hari ini. Okey, jadi cikgu perkenalkan diri cikgu dahulu. Nama cikgu Nur Izian binti Saleh dari SMK Teluk Parlimen Garang. Okay, boleh panggil Cikgu Izian selaku moderator pada petang ini. Okay, pada petang ini kita bersiaran secara langsung dari channel Mr.Peh. Siapa yang belum subscribe, silalah tekan butang subscribe sebagai tanda sokongan kepada Mr.Peh. Okay, nama sebenar beliau adalah Mr.Peh Kok Hua dari SMJK Tinggi Cina Melaka dan kita akan mengulang kaji peperiksaan akhir tahun tingkatan 4 ataupun SPM 2021 untuk siri yang ke-9. Okay, kelas ini akan berlangsung lebih kurang 1 jam. Okay, selain itu kita ada Cikgu Hasnita dari SMK Bagandaya Batuan Pulau Pinang selaku control host untuk petang ini dan juga Cikgu Kok Simai dari SMK Tinggi St. David Melaka. Okey, sebelum kita teruskan kelas kita, ingin cikgu ingatkan semua pelajar dan penonton yang ingin menghantar komen untuk menggunakan bahasa yang sopan. Okey, dan cikgu percaya semua yang hadir kelas pada petang ini merupakan pelajar-pelajar yang cemerlang. Okay, link e-sijil seperti biasa akan diberikan di hujung siaran nanti dan pastikan diisi dalam tempoh 30 minit selepas kelas tamat. Link e-sijil hanya dapat diisi dengan email e-didik, MOE, Jawi dan MyGuru. Okey, selain itu juga cikgu akan berikan kod untuk tebus ganjaran semasa kelas dijalankan. Okey, jadi cikgu akan berikan kod yang pertama. Kod yang pertama adalah A1. Cikgu ulang, A1. Okey, jadi sila fokus pada isi pelajaran yang akan disampaikan oleh Mr.Peh. InsyaAllah moga kelas kita pada petang ini dapat dimanfaatkan sepenuhnya oleh para pelajar. Tanpa membuang masa, saya serahkan kelas kita pada Mr.Peh. Silakan Mr.Peh.
Okay, so thank you kepada Cikgu Izian. Okay, so sekarang you boleh lihat skrin ini kan, okay. So seperti biasa, okay, ini adalah dua kelas tuition online fizik SPM percuma, okay. So kelas untuk tingkatan 5 adalah pada setiap Jumaat 9.30, okay. So manakala untuk kelas tingkatan 4 seperti hari ini pada hari Ahad pukul 2. So ini merupakan panitia fizik SPM Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. So hari ini bersama konti di sini adalah Cikgu Izian, Cikgu Kok dan juga Cikgu Hasnita. Okay, so terima kasih bersama saya pada petang ini. Okay, so saya Mr.Peh, okay, kini mengajar di SMJK Tinggi Cina Melaka. So hari ini kita telah masuk ulang kaji peperiksaan akhir tahun tingkatan 4 dan sebenarnya dia juga sesuai untuk para pelajar SPM, okay, yang akan menghadapi peperiksaan mereka, okay. So kini sudah masuk dalam siri ke-9. So hari ini Cikgu Peh akan fokus kepada soalan-soalan kertas 2, okay, trial SPM Negeri Sembilan 2021. Okay, so saya akan fokus kepada soalan yang berkenaan tentang tingkatan 5. Okay, so seperti biasa, okay, cikgu akan beritahu, okay, para pelajar tentang format instrumen SPM FIZIK mulai 2021. Okay, so di sini kita ada 3 kertas, okay, kertas 1, 2 dan 3. So kertas 1 dan 2 merupakan ujian bertulis, dan kertas 3 merupakan ujian amali. Okay, so ini sudah selesai untuk para pelajar yang SPM sesi 2021. Okay. Okay, so untuk kertas 1, kita ada 2 jenis soalan, aneka pilihan dan aneka gabungan. Okay. So manakala untuk kertas 2, kita ada 3 jenis item. Okay. Soalan berstruktur, respon terbuka dan terhad. Okay. Okay, so untuk kertas 3 adalah subjektif berstruktur. Okay, so kalau kamu yang untuk tingkatan 4, okay, yang sesi baru ataupun yang akan masuk ke tingkatan 5, so kamu bolehlah lihat balik, okay, so apa yang Cikgu Peh, okay, berikan tentang perbincangan kertas 3 pada kelas 2 minggu lepas, okay. Okay, so untuk kertas 1 kita ada 40 soalan dan perlu jawab semua. Untuk kertas 2, kita ada 3 bahagian, bahagian A, B, C. Okay, bahagian A ada 8 item yang cover, okay, 60 markah. Bahagian B, 2 item, okay, pilih 1. Ataupun kamu boleh jawab 2 soalan tersebut. Okay, markah yang tertinggi akan dipilih pada akhir jumlahkan markah. Okay, so untuk bahagian C, ada 1 item yang 20 markah. Okay, so kertas 3 ada 3 item. Okay, so ada sedikit updated info lah, nanti saya beritahu. Okay, so jumlah markah untuk kertas 1 40, kertas 2 100 dan kertas 3 adalah 15. Okay, jumlah keseluruhan 155. Okay, so untuk yang construct, okay, so kertas 1 dan kertas 2 termasuk mengingat, memahami, mengaplikasi, menganalisis, menilai dan mencipta untuk kertas 2. Okay, so kita akan ringkaskan construct ini nantilah. Okay, so apa yang dikenali sebagai construct tersebut. Okay, dan kertas 3 kita perlukan, okay, kemahiran proses sains. So kamu perlu jalankan eksperimen. Okay, so tempo ujian untuk kertas 1, 1 jam 15 minit. Kertas 2, 2 jam 30 minit. Dan kertas 3 adalah 45 minit. So hari ini Cikgu Peh akan fokus kepada kertas 2 sahaja. Okay, so saya akan fokus kepada soalan tingkatan 4 untuk trial Negeri Sembilan 2021. Okay, so sini adalah sedikit updated info kepada paper 3. Okay, so sebelum ini, okay, Cikgu Peh banyak yang sebutkan. Okay, so sebenarnya dia ada 3 soalan. Okay, kenapa saya sebutkan 3 soalan? Sebab kita based on trial paper 3 yang diadakan pada tahun lepas Mei dan juga tahun lepas bulan November kalau tak salah tarikh tersebut. Okay, so pada masa tersebut semua paper 3, tak kira bio ke, chemistry ke, physics, okay, dia akan masuk dalam satu booklet yang sama. So dia ada 3 soalan. So berdasarkan information yang tersebut, okay, so saya conclude dia sebagai question 1, 2 dia akan jenis yang amali berbantu. Question 3 adalah tidak berbantu. Yang mana yang sebenarnya dekat trial, 2 trial paper 3 pada tahun lepas. Okay. Tapi selepas betul-betul punya paper 3 yang diadakan pada minggu lepas, sebenarnya dia ada sedikit perubahan. Tetapi secara keseluruhan tidak menjejaskan teknik untuk menjawab paper 3 lah. Okay. So sebenarnya dia bukan lagi cakap ada 3 soalan 1, 2, 3 lah. So sebenarnya dia ada subjek untuk setiap satu dia adalah separate kepada booklet tersebut. So means sebenarnya untuk yang trial dia adalah satu booklet question mengandungi 3 soalan. Okay? Tetapi untuk yang sebenar dia sudah separate kepada setiap subjek satu. Okay? So bukan seperti yang kita katakan ada 3 soalan. Sebenarnya dia ada 3 soalan, tetapi dia dipisahkan, okay, mengikut subjek. Okay, then jadi dalam keadaan ini, so tak kisah dia fizik, chemistry ke biologi, dia hanya ada satu soalan untuk subjek masing-masing dan setiap subjek tersebut dia mungkin amali, berbantu ataupun tidak berbantu sebenarnya. Okay, so saya rasa ini adalah updated info yang begini selepas SPM paper 3 yang sebenar. Tetapi keseluruhan tidak menjejaskan teknik menjawab tersebutlah. Okay, okay. So hari ini saya akan bincangkan, okay, trial exam untuk negeri sembilan, okay, paper 2. Okay, so yang ini dia sepertilah Mr.Peh, okay, katakan dia keseluruhan ada 3 bahagian ABC. Okay, so section A, okay, so totally we have actually 8 question need to answer, okay, and there is some different according to the position of the criteria tested if compared to my explanation in my previous video. Okay, so the mainly criteria tested for each question is also the same. Okay, it's knowledge, understanding, calculation, okay, conception, decision making, and modification. Just the mark distribution and the question location is a bit different now. Okay, so like question number 5 and number 6, okay, normally I will advise that the question asking will be conception and calculation. Okay, then according to this SPM trial at Negeri Sembilan, okay, so the question 5 is actually only 1 mark for conception, but normally, okay, we'll see is 5 marks. Okay, but I think the important is the criteria tested is still the same. Okay, so that means the overall the question will be asking is actually I think will be the same, just the mark distribution and the criteria distribution will be maybe different. Okay, we also not so sure. Okay, so according to here the main difference is the question 5 and 6, the conception actually is there, but the mark is not higher as I explained at the previous video, okay, which is 5 mark. Okay, and the other difference is the question number 7 and 8. Okay, so as mentioned in my previous video, okay, so the decision making question will be dropped at the question number 8 and the modification will be dropped at the question number 7. But if we analyze the criteria tested in the Negeri Sembilan 2021, okay, actually the criteria tested location different, but overall it is not affected the tested criteria. So I think the thing will be asked is also almost the same. Okay, so for the section B and C is almost same as I mentioned in my previous video. Okay, so from here for the analysis of this Negeri Sembilan trial, okay, so you can see the Form 4 and Form 5 question actually is 50-50, right? Okay, and the distribution mark is also same as our expected, which is also explained in our previous video already. Okay, so question 1 will be 4 marks, question 2 is 5 marks, question 3 is 6 marks. Okay, and then question number 4 until number 8 is 9 marks. Okay, and question number 9 and 10 is 20 marks, which is option. You can answer one of the question or two. Okay, so the highest mark will be calculated at the end. And section C is only we have 1 question. So that means there is a compulsory question, which is regarding conception and modification. And the total mark is 20. Okay. So in today's discussion, I will only discuss the Form 4 question, which is question number 2, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 11. Okay. So the question regarding the conception, although I not discussed in section A, but there is also the same concept, okay, and the answering technique, okay, in question 11. Okay, so let us start together. Okay, so this is question 2, okay, it's regarding the chapter 3, section 3.3, okay, it's regarding the man-made satellite, okay, totally is consists of 5 marks, okay. So the knowledge is 1 mark, understanding 2 marks, and calculation is 2 marks. Okay. So let us read the question together first, okay. Diagram 2 show spacecraft launch into space from the surface of the Earth. Okay, so this is the spacecraft, okay. So what is the meanings of the escape velocity? Okay, so this memorize, okay, the question is memorize, you need to memorize. So here the answer given, okay, the minimum velocity needed by an object on the surface of the Earth to overcome gravitational force and escape to the outer space. So that means the keyword here you have to mention minimum velocity, okay, for an object to overcome gravitational force so that it can escape to outer space. So this is a keyword, okay, you have to mention in the definition of escape velocity, okay. Okay, so before we go further, okay, so what you understand about the escape velocity? Okay, so here you can look at the figure. So an object is launched at escape velocity, which is almost same question, okay, in question 2A, okay. So the object can overcome the gravitational force so that it can be moving to infinity distance. Okay, if let's say the object not able to overcome the gravitational force, so that means the object will be like human, okay, like us, okay, like air. So all will be still in our Earth, okay. Okay, so actually to overcome the gravitational force, okay, so in this you have to understand 2 energy involved, okay. So the firstly, okay, is the gravitational potential energy, okay. For this object, okay, which have the mass of m, okay, and the distance r, okay, from our Earth, which have the mass of m, okay, so will be opposite the gravitational potential energy. So you can look at the figure. So the gravitational potential energy showing a negative because the direction for the gravitational force is towards the Earth. Okay, so another energy involved is actually the kinetic energy. Okay, so here you can see the sentence here. Escape velocity is achieved when the minimum kinetic energy of an object is able to overcome the gravitational potential energy. So that means the gravitational potential energy is the energy to adding on the object, okay, so that the object will be always attracted to the center of the Earth. Okay, so the object have to achieve a minimum velocity, which is known as the escape velocity, so that itself have the minimum kinetic energy, okay, to moving to infinity. Okay. Okay, so as mentioned, okay, negative in the gravitational potential energy, okay, because the force of gravity is acting on the object which is towards the Earth. Okay, so we put that as negative lah, okay. So if the object is at the same position, so that means the kinetic energy will be equal to the gravitational potential energy. Okay, so here the net energy will be 0 lah. Okay, so we just substitute the formula of kinetic energy and the gravitational potential energy, so that finally we get the escape velocity will be this formula, square root of 2gm over r. Okay, is this one. So that means that the escape velocity is depending on the mass of the Earth, so with capital M. and also the distance of the object from the center of the Earth. So remember, is from the center of the Earth, not the surface of the Earth. Okay. So from this formula, you cannot see any small letter m. So that means the escape velocity is not depending to the mass of the object. Okay. So the formula will be used for the next question. Okay. So let us see together how the formula is applied in this question. Okay. So calculate the escape velocity required by the spacecraft to escape from the gravitational pull of the Earth. So that means we are applying the formula. Okay. So G, okay, is actually not mentioned in this question. Okay. So I believe that the value will be listed in the formula in the question. Okay. We also still not sure that what is the equation will be provided. Okay. I just believe for this type of question, suppose the lembaga have to provide to students. Okay. So students don't need to memorize, in my opinion. Okay. Okay. So, and then the M will be given by 5.97 times 10 power 24 for R. Okay. R is the radians for the Earth. Okay. Because the question asking, okay, escape from the Earth. So that means is just maybe at the location, which is the radians of the Earth. Okay. So here, we just substitute all the value given, okay, and then we get our value will be, okay, this, okay. So here we have 2 marks. So the first mark will be substitution, second mark will be the answer. Okay, but I understand that most of the students, okay, like to change the answer in the form of in standard form. Okay. So here I actually advise that, okay, you have to maintain more decimal place, okay, for the answer, which is already changed to the standard form. Okay, if according to our marking experience in 2020, okay, we have one question, okay, regarding chapter 4. Okay, so the answer, if the students not round off and not change to standard form and remaining 2 decimal place, the answer is correct. Okay, but after we changing, like for this example, the answer, if I say you change to 2 decimal place, will become 1.8, will be 1.11 times 10 power 4. Okay, so if I say you calculate back for the not change to standard form, so you can see actually the percentage of the difference is quite high actually. So that's why I think that because of this, the answer for the standard form should be maintaining more decimal place. Okay, so this is my advice for this question. Okay, so for the next, okay, so C, if the velocity of the escape of the spacecraft is 8,000, will it be able to escape to the outer space? Explain. So 2 marks. So you have to mention able or not able. And then next will be answer. Why? Okay, so according to answer from 2B, okay, you can see the escape velocity is about 11,000, right? So the velocity here for the spacecraft is below this value. So that means it will be still maintained at the Earth, right? Okay, so the answer is no. No 1 mark. Explanation, because the velocity of the space is less than escape velocity. Okay, so here you must do comparison between the velocity of spacecraft and the escape velocity. Okay, so you cannot just mention, oh, because the velocity of spacecraft is 8,000, so the marker cannot see the comparison regarding the velocity of the spacecraft to the escape velocity. Okay, so this is the question number 2. Okay, so the next will be question number 7, is regarding chapter 6, okay, which is light, okay, light and optic. Okay, so the subsection asked for this question is 6.2, okay, is total internal reflection, and 6.3 regarding the image formation by lenses now. Okay. Okay, so
Mr. Peh, betul kan jawapan
sorry?
dia? Khairul PT dia jawab juga. dari soalan tadi.
Okay, sorry. Too focus to teach already. Okay, so Khairul Fitri. Tidak kerana kelajuan kapal tidak melebihi. Okay, so kalau dia tidak melebihi, ini juga merupakan perbandingan. Boleh diterima. Okay, kalau seperti sebenarnya paper ini saya ada bagi saya punya student buat. Okay, so dia terus bagi kerana dia punya velocity adalah 8,000. So dia cakap kenapa salah? Sebab tidak menunjukkan perbezaan. Okay, kalau tidak melebihi sebenarnya dia sudah berikan comparison. So it's correct. Okay. So betul. Okay, Okay, so for the next will be question 7, okay? So diagram 7.1 shows an incomplete light ray path entering a glass prism. The refractive index of the glass is 1.5. Okay, so n equal to 1.5. Okay, so the diagram 7.1 complete the light ray path from the O. So the O is here. Okay, so to answering this, okay, so 1 mark, actually you just need to draw one line. So is total internal reflection or just reflection, pembiasan. Okay, so to understand this, okay, you have to identify the critical angle of the glass prism. Okay, so if the incident angle is less than critical angle, so the refraction will be occur. If I equal to C, that means the light will be pass through the so the total internal refraction will be occur. Okay. Okay, so okay, Khairul dia tanya nanti saya lukis apa? Oh, okay. So boleh nanti you boleh lukis dalam kertas. Okay, so here from here, okay, we have to get our
Terputus ke Mr.Peh?
Mr.Peh nampak tersekat sikit di sana ya.
Okay, so adik-adik yang tengah menonton ni boleh cuba jawab soalan nombor 7 ataupun tunjuk dekat ruangan chat. Kita tengok dekat soalan Rajah 7.1 menunjukkan sinar cahaya yang tidak lengkap memasuki suatu prisma kaca. Indeks biasan prisma kaca itu adalah 1.5. Okay, lengkapkan lintasan sinar cahaya dari titik O. Okay, tadi Mr.Peh bagi tahu macam mana kita nak lengkapkan lintasan sinar cahaya. Kita kena tahu sinar 7 tu melebihi sudut genting atau tidak. Oh, okey, dah masuk. Okey. Silakan Mr.Peh. Okey tak? Masih sangkut lagi
Nampaknya masih
okay,
sangkut
so
lagi. Ada dah ke Mr.Peh?
Dia macam okey, Khairul Fitri dah cuba jawab
Khairul Fitri dah tunjuk jawapan dekat sana.
Dia cuba cari sudut 7. Maksudnya sudut 7 dia 41.81 darjah. Melebihi tak sudut genting? Okey, kalau dia melebihi sudut genting, dia akan jadi pantulan dalam penuh. Okey. Sangkut dah. Terputus ke Mr.Peh?
Mr.Peh nampaknya terputus talian sekejap di sana. Jadi pelajar-pelajar yang baru masuk, selamat datanglah kita ucapkan. Anda sekarang sedang mengikuti ulang kaji peperiksaan akhir tahun ataupun SPM 2021 langsung dari channel Mr.Peh. Nampaknya Mr.Peh dah terkeluar daripada siaran. Tak apa, nanti kita sementara nak tunggu dia masuk seketika. Anak-anak pelajar boleh dapatkan modul yang dibincangkan oleh Mr.Peh pada bahagian deskripsi video Cikgu Izian ada diletakkan di sana. Linknya bolehlah anda muat turun kalau ada mesin cetak di rumah. Sempat lagi ni kalau nak print sementara kita tunggu Mr.Peh kembali kan. Ataupun anda boleh muat turun dahulu dan cuba jawab pada kertas kosong ke ataupun anda boleh respon pada ruangan sembang.
Ya, betul. Tadi topik cahaya
Tadi topik cahaya, pembiasan cahaya. Ini bab 6 kalau tingkatan 4.
Soalan ni soalan hot juga ni untuk trial hari tu. Soalan pantulan dalam penuh. Okay. Jadi sementara cikgu Mr.Peh belum masuk ni, cikgu ulas sikit lah untuk tajuk tu dah Mr.Peh dah masuk ke?
Okey, Mr.Peh boleh share semula skrinnya.
Belum, masih sangkut lagi. Okay, mungkin hujan kot kat sana.
Hello.
Dengar suara.
Boleh dengar saya?
Boleh. Ataupun kita
Boleh
berehat
dengar saya?
seketika, Cikgu Izian, sementara kita tunggu Mr.Peh bersedia. Boleh
Okey, sebelum kita berehat boleh tak cikgu bagi kod dulu Cikgu bagi
boleh.
kod yang kedua iaitu 56. 56. Okey, kita berehat dulu
Boleh sambung? Okey.
Okey, kembali kita. Sementara kita tunggu Mr.Peh. Okey, adik-adik boleh cuba jawab soalan yang tadi tu, soalan cahaya, topik cahaya. Tu yang Muhammad Khairul Fitri dah jawab, maka pantulan dalam penuh berlaku. Okey, dia dah kira tadi. Dapat 41.81 darjah ya. Okey. Mr.Peh mungkin boleh ke cuba Mr.Peh cakap sikit? Belum lagi ke?
Okey, Mr.Peh boleh dengar ke? Kalau daripada perkiraan Fitri ni, maknanya dia dapat tadi sudut genting kaca 41, sudut genting prisma kaca 41.81 darjah. Okey, so kalau anda lihat gambar di sana, maknanya sudut 7 tu dia lebih kecil daripada sudut genting. So bila sudut genting melebihi sudut 7, maka betullah seperti kata Fitri, pantulan dalam penuh akan berlaku. So kita nak lukis ke mana dia punya sinar cahaya tu, maknanya dia akan turun ke bawah. Okey, cikgu cubalah sharekan skrin sementara Mr.Peh kembali semula Okey, ini gambar dia tadi. Jadi daripada perkiraan Fitri, kalau kita lukiskan tadi, so kita lukiskan anak panah ke bawah lah, maknanya dia terpantul semula ke dalam prisma kaca. Okey. Jadi B menjawab soalan B berdasarkan jawapan di A, namakan fenomena cahaya yang terlibat. So the phenomenon is total internal reflection. Betul ya Cikgu Izian untuk
Betul.
soalan B itu. Okey. So Mr. Peh belum ada lagi Okay.
Belum.
Untuk soalan C ini, yang ini dia aplikasi kan. Kalau kita tengok Raja 7.2 menunjukkan binocular berprisma. Okey, anak-anak boleh tulis tak binocular ni kita gunakan untuk apa?
Okay, cuba anda nak tahu binocular tu apa sebenarnya? Binocular. Binocular ibarat macam teropong kan? Okay, binocular berprisma. Kenapa ada prisma dalam binocular? Mesti ada sebab kita tahu prisma tu ada dua sebabkan ada pantulan dalam penuh berlaku. Okay, jadi contoh kat sini dia beritahu kedudukan ada dua prisma ada dua prisma dalam binocular untuk kita melihat objek itu dengan lebih dekat lah. Okey, apa soalannya? Lukis lintasan sinar cahaya yang memasuki kedua-dua prisma itu. Dalam lukisan anda, tunjukkan arah lintasan cahaya itu. Okey, cuba tengok kedudukan prisma dalam binocular tu. Dia bertentangan macam tu ada dua. Okey, jadi anak-anak lukis dia punya anak panah tu, sinar cahaya tu. Okey, daripada objek, maksudnya daripada kanta objek dekat yang
di bawah sini
Okey. Lepas tu dia straight terus ke prisma yang berdepan dia.
Yang pertama.
Okay. Prisma pertama. Lepas
Cikgu
tu
tak ada pen pula dekat sini.
Itulah tak apa. Adik-adik cuba dia straight je ke atas, straight ke depan.
Kalau kita lukis tu berapa, kita nak lukis satu atau kita kena lukis dua sinar cahaya tu?
Lukis dua.
Selalunya kita lukis dua, betul
Okey, lukis straight dulu. Okey, kemudian disebabkan dia melebihi sudut genting prisma tu, jadi dia terpantul. Okey, cuba je
So maknanya dekat prisma yang pertama tu berlaku pantulan dalam penuh yang pertama dekat sini. So dia naik ke atas kan. Kemudian dekat sini dia akan berlaku sekali lagi pantulan dalam penuh. Maknanya dekat prisma pertama ni dia berlaku dua kali pantulan dalam penuh. Dan yang kedua tu dia akan masuk ke prisma yang kedua. So di titik ni berlaku sekali lagi pantulan dalam penuh. So dia akan terpantul ke bahagian atas. Dan di sini sekali lagi berlaku pantulan dalam penuh. Akhirnya sinar cahaya tu masuk ke dalam mata pemerhati. Jadi biasa juga soalan ni dia tanyakan berapa kali pantulan dalam penuh berlaku dalam binocular. So berapa kali tadi cikgu sebut ada? 4 kali, betul 2 kali pantulan dalam penuh untuk setiap prisma. Okey, Cikgu Peh dah ada. Cikgu Peh dah sedia nak sambung semula?
Ya, okey. Minta maaf ya.
Okey, tak apa, tak ada masalah. Saya stop sharing. Cikgu Peh boleh share screen semula
Okey.
Macam Cikgu Izian bagi tahu tadi, soalan ni agak famous untuk percubaan tahun ini. So kemungkinan adakah dia akan keluar dalam SPM yang sebenar nanti? So lebih baik kita bersedia saja kan?
Ya. Betul.
Okey, Mr. Peh boleh share screen, boleh.
Saya belum share. Okey.
Belum lagi. Fitri ada di sana melihat objek yang jauh, betul Fitri. Okay, kalau nak lihat yang lagi jauh kita guna apa? Kita guna teleskop. Contohnya objek yang di luar angkasa lepas. Okey, saya add dulu. Okay, kita sambung semula dekat mana. Kita boleh pergi soalan C kot Mr. Peh.
Okey, tak apa saya cuba
tunjukkan. Okey, boleh sambung
Okey, saya sambung sama cepat. Okay, so I continue. Okay, so as mentioned, okay, so just now, okay, so the critical angle we calculate is 41.8. Okay, so from here, the incident angle here actually is 45 lah, which is greater than critical angle. So we get the answer here is actually 1 mark for this line. Okay, so the next question asking us regarding the phenomenon, right? Okay, I think the teachers there in Conti just now already mentioned. The answer will be total internal reflection. Okay. Okay, so here again, okay, so we have to draw. So what happened to the right ray, okay, inside the two prism here, okay? So the first mark here is regarding the ray, okay, which showing the phenomenon of total internal resistance, total internal reflection here, okay? So the first, you can see here we have the 2 times total internal reflection at the first prism, okay? And the second, okay, will be at our second prism. Here also we have 2 times of the okay, so 2 times of the total internal reflection, okay, at our second prism, okay. So the first mark will be showing the total internal reflection. Second, the right ray direction must be correct, okay, from the bottom to the top, okay. Okay, so the next question is projective lens is used in the binocular so that the object can be seen clearer. Okay, so so here you can see here we have the 2 characters where we need to discuss. Okay, so the first is regarding the FO to FE. So the FO regarding to the focal length of objective lens, and the FE is the focal length for the eyepiece. Okay, so the first question here to ask you to choose which X and Y, the ratio for FO to FE is best. Okay. So here you can see the structure, okay, close section for the binocular. Okay, so the objective lens is here in front and the eyepiece here. Okay, so we have to actually identify, okay, the magnification, okay, for X, Y, and Z. So from here, 10 cm is FO over FE, 20 mm. Okay, so we have to change to same unit. So we get the first magnification for X 5, the Y will be 7, okay, with the substitution of 14 cm to 20, and the last is 20 cm, 24 cm to 24 mm. So we get 10. So you can see here the magnification is the highest for the lens of Z, okay, which is 24 cm to 24 mm. Okay, and the reason, okay, because it has the higher magnification. Okay, okay, so for the next will be regarding the diameter. Okay, so from here you can see the diameter, you have 2 choice, small and big. Okay, so we have to choose big, okay, so that more light can be reflected. Okay, so this is the answer, okay, for this question. Okay, so the third one, based on the answer 71 and 72, determine the most suitable lens. So here, as mentioned just now, we choose 24 to 24. So the best will be Z. Okay. So this is the decision-making question. Okay. So where you can score actually compared to the modification question actually. Okay. Okay, so the question number 8, okay, so is a question regarding chapter 2, okay, so the subtitle here will be 2.6 and 2.7, okay, so it's regarding the force and the impulse and impulsive force, okay, total is 9 marks. So the first question, okay, so diagram 8.1 shows a jet taking off, okay, so the jet is taking off. What is the means by acceleration? Okay, so from here, you can see the formula for the acceleration will be change of velocity to time. So the time will be rate. So rate change of velocity will be the definition for acceleration. Okay, so it's a quite straightforward question. Okay, okay, so Cairo, okay, bagus, okay, dapat kata Z kan tadi, okay, bagus. Okay, so B, diagram 8.1 show a jet with mass 4.5 times 10 power 5 is taking off when the acceleration is about 30. So determine the upward force generated by the jet engine. Okay, so this is the diagram 8.1. So the first question asks you to determine the upward force. So the upward force is here. you can look at the arrow here. Okay, so another force is acting to the jet is the weight. Okay, so it's W. The formula here is mg. Okay. Okay, so that the question given us the m equal to 4.5 times 10, okay, power 5, and the g we know already is 9.81. Okay, so the question also given us another information that, okay, the jet is accelerate when taking off with the a equal to 30. So that means there is a resultant force there. Okay, so with the formula of F equal to ma, which is the Newton's second law. Okay, so the F here is actually the resultant force. So as the jet is taking off, okay, so that means the upward force is greater than the weight. Okay, so we use Fu minus W equal to ma. Okay, so we rearrange the formula, we get m multiply with a plus g. So we substitute the value given. Okay, so we get the answer here is 1.7. Okay. Okay, so the next will be diagram 8.2 shows the skateboard athlete. Okay, the sport is a new event completed in the Tokyo 2000 Olympic. Okay, so here, okay, so using your knowledge, okay, regarding the force and motion, you are required to give some suggestion. Okay, so that means this type of question is actually the modification. So the tag size, you have to choose big or small. So here, I already showed the answer here is big. You have to have the bigger size of tag so that, okay, with the larger surface area, so it will be more stable. Okay, so this is the 2 marks. Okay, first mark for the suggestion, second mark for the reason. Okay, okay, so the next, the mass of the skateboard. Okay, so the mass should be small. Why? Okay, because it is lighter, so that, okay, acceleration will be increased. Okay, so what is the additional safety accessory you can add in? Okay, so here you can look at the picture here. So you can use you can add on the knee pad, okay, and using the helmet, okay, because both, okay, have the spun area. Okay, you can see here is a spun area, so that it will be given the cushion effect, which can increase the time impact and consequently reduce the impulsive force. Okay, so the answer here will be knee pad and the helmet. You can write to decrease the impulsive force, or you can given the answer as increase the time impact. Okay, so I think just now already take a break, right? So I just continue. Right, Cikgu Izian?
Okey, boleh teruskan. Kod pun saya dah berikan tadi.
Okay, thank you, Cikgu Izian. Okay, so saya takut nanti saya soal lost juga. Okay. Okay, so the next will be section B. Okay, so is regarding chapter 4. Okay, so 4.2 and 4.3. Okay, so it's the heat, specific heat capacity and specific latent heat. Okay, so for section B, so normally you will see the decision making question here. Okay, 10 marks question, and normally we together with calculation. Okay, so let us see together the question. Diagram 9.1 shows a fish in a glass steamer. Okay, what is the meanings of specific latent heat or vaporization? Okay, so to answer this question, you can see actually here got 3 important terms you have to know. Okay, so the first, the specific referring to 1 kg substance. Then the latent heat referring to the amount of heat absorbed or released. without any changes of temperature. Okay, so that means if, for example, here will be boiling. Okay, so for boiling process, the heat will be absorbed. Okay, so the boiling point for water is 100. So the water change to gas will be maintaining the same temperature. Okay, so vaporize will be referring to liquid to gas for boiling process, and for condensation process will be gas to liquid. Okay. Okay, so answer here, the quantity heat, okay, there is absorbed during boiling, okay, or released during condensation of 1 kg. So you must mention 1 kg of a substance without change in temperature. Okay, so this is a keyword you have to mention. Okay, so actually got another terms, okay, specific capacity. So some of the students will be confusing between these two type of the heat, okay. So here the specific also referring to 1 kg. The heat capacity referring to the increase of temperature, okay, for the heat required. So that means for specific capacity is involved the increasing of temperature, while for the specific latent heat is not involved the increasing of temperature, just the change of the phase. Okay, for the specific capacity involve the change of temperature, but not change of the state. Okay, so you can write as a heat required to increase the temperature of 1 kg substance by 1 degree Celsius if the question asking you regarding the specific capacity, but now it's the latent heat. Okay. Okay, so the next question is the understanding question, which is normally 4 marks. Okay. For this type of question, actually here is four marks. I advise here is also you have to write more than 4 points. Okay, because sometimes we're not sure that the point we write is including in the marking scheme or not. Okay, so based on the suitable physics concept, explain how cooking using steam is faster than boiling. Okay, so the tips for this type of question will be you can get your idea, okay, from the diagram actually. Okay, so the diagram here actually almost same as the question. Okay, you can see there is the steam which is hotter and fish which is colder. Okay, so for heat transfer, we need to have the thermal contact between the steam and the fish. So you have to think from the picture. Okay, so the heat flow will be flowing from the hotter region to the colder region. So here we have already 2 points here. The first steam is thermal contact with the fish. The second will be heat transfer from steam to fish because the steam is hotter. Okay, and then we can also get some idea from the keyword here. So here we have cooking, okay, and steam. Okay, so for cooking, that means we need heat. So the heat comes from the steam. Okay, so here, how the steam can transfer the heat? So it's through the process of condensation. Okay, so the heat will be released from the steam when the steam condenses to water. Okay, so this is another 2 points. So steam condenses to water. Another will be large specific latent heat of vaporization released from steam to fish. Okay, so this is the idea here. Okay, so as mentioned, advise you to write more than 4 points, which is not contra. Okay. Okay, so the next is the decision-making question. Okay, so diagram 2A shows front view of the refrigerator, and diagram 9.2B shows the rear view of the refrigerator. So here, the front view is regarding the evaporator coin. So that means the row of the coins have to absorb the heat, okay, from the freezer. Okay, and the condenser, okay, where is behind, okay, the refrigerator, so have to release the heat to surrounding from the freezer. So this is the main concept here. Okay, okay, so the table 9, okay, show the specification for 4 refrigerator JKLM. Okay, you have to choose which is the best. You only can choose one. Okay, cannot choose 2, 3, or 4. Okay, must choose only one. Okay, so which is the best? Okay, So here the question is quite straightforward, already given 4 character. Okay, so you have to write 4 best character with the explanation and give your best choice. Okay, so for the first, okay, so you can see the question asks you choose the material of the pipe. Okay, so the pipe here we have the steel, copper, aluminum, and copper. We have 3 types. Okay, so you have to choose the low specific heat capacity. Okay, because they are the good heat conductor, so that they can transfer heat faster. Okay, so we have to choose copper lah. Okay, which has the low specific heat capacity. Okay, and the second, okay, so we have to choose the specific capacity of evaporator coin. Okay, here we have to choose the low specific capacity also lah. Okay, because it can be cold easier. Okay, so here we choose K. Okay, and the next will be the boiling point of the coolant. Okay, so we have to choose also the low boiling point so that it can change to gas easily. Okay, and absorb the heat from the refrigerator. Okay, so we have to choose a small, and the condenser coin. Okay, so we have to choose the more area. Okay, more condenser coin one. Okay, because the area increase will be increase the heat transfer rate. Okay, so we are quite sure we will choose K. Okay, okay, so again, advise the answer in table. The first, the pipe material should be copper because it is a good heat conductor where the heat transfer rate is higher. Okay, you can give one of the answer there. Okay, so the specific capacity of the evaporator coin will be low. Okay, so will become cold faster. The next will be boiling point must be also low. Okay, okay, so it can become gas more easier, so can absorb the heat from the freezer faster, so the freezer will become cold faster also. Okay, the next will be the condenser coin, so we have to choose the more. Okay, so because increase the surface area will be increase the heat release. Okay,
Sorry,
rate.
Mr. Peh.
Yeah.
Khairul Fitri dia jawab gelong penyejatan mempunyai muatan haba tentu yang tinggi. Sepatutnya rendah atau tinggi ya? Dia jawab supaya peti ais lebih cepat berkurang. Boleh terima
Okay,
ke?
so actually here di sini sebenarnya kamu kena jawab rendah sebab kita nak tukarkan cecair tersebut kepada gas. Okay, jadi dalam proses ini dia akan serap haba. Bila dia serap haba dengan cepat, peti sejuk akan sejuk dengan cepat. Okay, kalau kamu pilihkan yang tinggi, maksud dia sebenarnya dia nak keep warm. Soalan kalau keep warm, kita kena pilih jawapan seperti Khairul. Di sini kita nak dia sejuk dengan cepat. So bila sejuk, kita kena serap haba cepat. So macam mana kita nak serap haba cepat? Kita nak material yang di mana dia tukar fasa dengan cepat. Bila dia nak tukar fasa dengan cepat, dia punya specific capacity, dia punya boiling point semua mesti rendah. Supaya dia boleh ubah fasa dengan cepat dan serap haba dari sekeliling dengan cepat. Okay, so harap saya jawab soalan tersebut. Okay,
dia dah betulkan tu.
Boleh?
Boleh.
Okay okay, so saya continue. Okay, so saya dengar suara Izian, saya berani sambung lagi. Takut hilang tanpa kesedaran. Okay, so
boleh.
Di sini, so di sini K, okay. So copy semula jawapan daripada tempat ini lah, kamu akan dapat full mark. Okay. Okay, so the next will be the question regarding calculation 5 marks. Okay. So diagram 9.3 show the aluminium block of mass 1 kg. So already given 1 kg. Okay. Wrapped in cotton and fitted with the emission which have labeled as 12 watt with 50 watt. Okay, so you can actually look at the unit, then you know the parameter already. Okay, so if the power supply is 11 minutes, okay? So to achieve the final temperature, the first one, what is the energy supply for 11 minutes? Okay. So here, this one is, sometimes we're not sure what is the value we have to use. So you can look at their parameter, their unit, so you can identify their parameter. For example, volt referring to voltage, watt referring to power, okay? So the question one, we ask you regarding the heat, okay, energy. So the formula here will be P times T. Okay, so as the information given, you just substitute. Remember, change your minutes to unit SI. Okay, so you get the answer in joule, 33,000. So first mark for substitution, second mark for the answer. So the second asks you to find, okay, the specific heat capacity of the aluminum block. So we're using the formula Q equal to MC data. So we need to identify what's the value for C. So again, you can get your change of temperature in the figure, which is 65 and 30 for initial. So the temperature change will be 35. This is the first mark, okay? And then we know that the mass is 1 kg, which we can substitute in the formula, okay? And the Q is get from the question 1. So after substitution, rearrange the formula, we get the answer is 942.86, okay? So this is the second mark for substitution and the third mark for the answer, okay? Okay, so for our last question, okay, so question 11, okay, so is regarding chapter 5, wave, okay? So the subtitle here will be 5.1, okay, regarding the fundamental of the wave. 5.5 is regarding diffraction, and the 5.6 is regarding the interference, okay? So the first question normally will be also asking you regarding the definition. So here, okay, so we can go to question A, okay? So here you can see what is the means by mechanical wave. So for mechanical wave, actually, we learn the wave actually got two types. One is the mechanical wave, one is the electromagnetic wave. So according from the notes, okay, so mechanical wave is the wave that is require a medium, okay, to transfer the energy, okay. So example here we have the water wave, sound wave, and seismic wave. Okay, for the second type will be electromagnetic wave. So for this type of the wave, not require any medium. So for example, our light, okay, is from our sun, pass through the vacuum, okay, and reach the earth. So this is example for the electromagnetic wave. But the question here asking us regarding mechanical. So that means the mechanical wave is the wave that is not, that is require a medium, okay, to transfer energy from one point to another. Okay, so this is the definition. Okay, the next will be conception. Okay, for this type of question, you can get full marks. Okay. So let us read the question together. Using diagram 11.1, okay, and 11.2, compare the wavelength before and after. Okay, and then compare the size of the gap and the shape of the wave. So you can see the first, where is the wave? So it's here. Before and after, you can see from the diagram, the wavelength is actually the same. Okay, so the first mark, wavelength before and after propagation is the same. Okay, and the second is ask you regarding the gap. So you can see very clear that the gap for 11.1 is greater than 11.2. So again, need to mention the parameter given in the question. You cannot just mention 11.1 greater than 11.2. Okay, the third is the shape. Compare 11.1 to 11.2. You can see the 11.2 actually is more circular. Okay, or we can say that the diffraction effect is more obvious. Okay, so the answer here, diagram 11.2 is more circular, curvier, okay, compared to 11.1. Okay, so the fourth mark here relate the shape and the size of the gap. Okay, so here you can see when the size decrease, the shape will be more circular. Okay, you can see the smaller the size of slit, okay, the more circular the shape. Okay, here is actually gap lah. Okay, the last one, concept. What is the concept here? Is the diffraction. Okay, diffraction of the water. Okay, so you can get full mark. Okay, so the next will be understanding question, 4 marks. Okay, so for this sort of question, again, I advise you to give more than 4 points. Okay, and mostly can get some idea from the figure or the keyword. Okay, in the question. Okay, so here you can look at the figure here. Okay, I explain actually what happened. Okay, in this headphone. Okay, so first you can see there is a microphone. So the purpose of microphone is to take the noise from the surrounding. Okay, you can look at here. I already circled with yellow color. Okay, and then you can write as microphone in the headphone detect noise from surrounding. So you have to mention microphone is used to detect noise from surrounding. The second, you can see the electronic parts, okay, at the figure is actually used to generate the sound wave, which have the same frequency, okay, but opposite phase with the noise surrounding. Okay, so the second mark here, the electronic circuit in headphone generates sound wave which have the same frequency but opposite phase. Okay, and the third mark here, you can see here got one speaker. So the speaker is used to emit, okay, emitted the sound wave produced. Okay, you can see the answer here. The sound wave are emitted from the speaker in the phone. Okay, and the last one, you can see the interference, okay, between two sound. Okay, so actually creating the destructive interference so that no more noise we can hear. Okay, so the answer here, when two sound wave meets, okay, destructive interference. So this is a keyword here. Destructive interference occur and eliminate the noise from surrounding. Okay, so that means the first point will be function for microphone. Second is the function of the electronic. Third is the function for speaker. And the last one is the destructive interference occur. Okay, these are the 4 reference point here. Okay, so we go to our last question here is regarding the modification. Okay, so diagram 11.4 showing the radar system at an airport. Okay, signal will be transmitted from the radar system, okay, to determine the location of the aeroplane. Okay, so using the appropriate physics concept, explain modification that need to be done to improve the radar system. Okay, so your answer must be including the character. First mark. First point you have to write. Okay. Second, the position of the parabolic disc. The third will be the distance, okay, of the signal receiver is here to the center of the parabolic disc. Okay, and the last one will be the type of the wave. So at here, the question asks you to give 4 modification. 4 modification plus 4 explanation, you only can get 8 marks. So that means where you can get another 2 marks. So that means you have to get another modification between these 4 suggestions given by the question here. But here actually is the more easier one is from character. So we have to give 2 character, 2 explanation, 1 position, 1 explanation, distance between signal and its explanation, and the type of the wave and the explanation. So you can get total 10 marks. Okay, so you must analyze where you can get full 10 marks. Okay, here. Okay, so regarding the character, so you are not advised to give the type of material. Normally, students will give this one we have to use a metal. Okay, we have to use a fiberglass. Okay, so as the question asks you to give character, so give the character, but not the type of the material here. Okay, so the first will be strong. Strong is one of the character. Why? not break easily, long lasting. So the second character, okay, for the parabolic disc will be big diameter, so it can receive more signal. Okay, so this is the regarding character. And the next will be the position should be high, okay, so that the signal will be not blocked by the obstacle, okay, building or whatever lah, okay, so must be high to avoid signal to be blocked, okay. And the next will be the distance, okay, between the signal receiver and the center, so must be at focal point, so that all the signal received can be reflected to the signal receiver, okay. And the last one will be the type of the wave, okay. So basically you can see the red box here. We have two types of the wave using for communication. There is a radio wave and the microwave, okay. But here the microwave will be better compared to radio wave because the microwave have higher energy frequency compared to the radio wave. Okay, again, I advise the answer in table. Okay, so the first factor, the first one, we need to choose the strong material, okay, so that it not break easily, can long for longer time, okay, can use for longer time. The next, the diameter of the parabolic must be big, okay, so that can receive more signal. Okay, so for the position must be at high position, okay, to avoid the signal to be blocked, okay, by building or others lah, okay. Okay, so the distance, okay, between the signal to the center of the parabolic disc must be at the focal length of the disc, okay, so that all the signal received by parabolic disc will be reflected to the signal of the receiver, okay, the receiver signal, sorry, okay. So the last will be the type of the wave. As mentioned, we need to choose microwave because the microwave have higher energy and high frequency. So the frequency to wavelength, the relationship is actually inversely proportional. So that means with the higher frequency, it will be have the shorter wavelength. Okay, so this is the suggested answer, okay, for this question. Okay, so that's all for my discussion. Okay, so I pass back to Cikgu Izian.
Okey, terima kasih Mr. Peh. Okey, alhamdulillah dah selesai kelas kita pada petang ini. Tahniah diucapkan kepada semua yang setia bersama kelas pada petang ini dari awal sehingga ke saat ini. Okey, jadi sebelum kita tamatkan sesi siaran langsung, bolehlah tekan butang subscribe dan aktifkan ikon loceng supaya kamu tidak terlepas sesi kelas yang seterusnya. Okey, sekiranya kamu suka dengan apa yang anda pelajari hari ini, boleh klik like dan share kepada rakan-rakan media sosial kamu untuk kita sebarkan ilmu dan juga beroleh kebaikan di atas perkongsian tersebut. Okey, sebelum link CJ diberikan, cikgu nak ucapkan terima kasih kerana kehebatan kamu menyertai kelas tuisyen percuma pada hari ini. Jadi cikgu berikan kod yang terakhir. Kod yang terakhir iaitu 26. Cikgu ulang, 26. Okey. So link sijil boleh didapati pada bahagian chat. Okey, sila ambil perhatian, link tersebut akan tamat dalam tempoh setengah jam selepas live ini. Boleh login dengan email e-didik, MOE, MyGuru ataupun MyJawi. Okey, sebelum saya tamatkan kelas pada petang ini, dipersilakan Cikgu Hasnita untuk memberikan sepatah dua kata.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Izian. Sedikit saja daripada Cikgu. Tahniah dan terima kasih semua. Okey, terima kasih Mr.Peh walaupun ada sedikit masalah teknikal tadi, tapi tak apa. Yang penting kita dapat juga habiskan perbincangan. Okey, syabas Begitu juga kepada pelajar-pelajar, Cikgu nak ucapkan selamat maju jaya untuk calon-calon SPM yang akan menduduki ujian mendengar esok mendengar bahasa Melayu dan bahasa Inggeris, dan seterusnya ujian bertutur bahasa Inggeris pada hari Selasa sehingga hari Khamis nanti. Mudah-mudahan banyak diberi kejayaan kepada semua. Jaga diri, jaga SOP, belajar rajin-rajin dan teruskan bersama Pusat Tuisyen Akademi YouTuber. Itu saja Cikgu Izian.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Asnita. Okey, dijemput Cikgu Kok untuk memberikan sepatah dua kata.
Rasa tak ada apa-apa lah. So, I hanya nak cakap dengan pelajar yang tingkatan 4 ni, ada 1 minggu lagi anda akan cuti kan. Okay, jangan lepaskan peluang ni untuk buat ulang kaji kerana sampai form 5 masa dia singkat saja. So, anda kena belajar form 4 dan juga belajar form 5, mungkin akan lupalah apa-apa yang anda belajar semasa form 4 kan. So, kami buat bersedia untuk form 4 dulu. Lepas tu sampai bulan Mac buka sekolah, kami belajar benda untuk form 5. So yang ini tak akan lupa untuk form 4 lah, selalu buat ulang kaji. Itu sajalah untuk nasihat, cadangan bagi pelajar tingkatan 4. Okey, terima kasih.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Kok. Okey, Cikgu nak ingatkan juga malam ni jangan lupa bersama-sama kami di segmen khas sains dan sangat dah siri yang ke-9 Okey, jangan lepaskan peluang untuk menangi hadiah yang menarik nanti anda. Okey, jadi terima kasih kepada semua penyokong Akademi YouTuber. Doakan kami terus kuat dan bersemangat untuk membantu dalam membangunkan pendidikan Malaysia. Okey, sekian saja. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Wow, banyaknya hadiah menarik menanti anda. Wah, kini Akademi YouTuber mengambil inisiatif baru di mana memberikan hadiah-hadiah ini secara percuma. Ya, percuma kepada anda semua. Bagaimana caranya? Dengan mengikuti kelas tuition online percuma Akademi YouTuber sambil mengutip mata kredit, anda dapat menukarkannya dengan hadiah-hadiah yang menarik ini. Tunggu apa lagi? Segalanya percuma. Jangan lepaskan peluang tau. Dah dapat banyak hadiah menarik, takkan nak lepaskan peluang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com sekarang untuk maklumat lanjut.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.